Senate President Akpabio must step aside over Natasha's sexual harassment allegations for justice to prevail. Lawyer Olajengbsi is like the lawyers are now finding the time to critically look at the Natasha Akpabio matter, because a plethora of them have been calling on the resignation of the Senate President to allow for equity and justice to play in the matter. Pelumi Olajengbsi has condemned the Senate President Godswill Akpabio over the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpabio, calling it an assault on justice and a disgrace to the nation. Olajengbsi, a legal practitioner and managing partner at Law Corridor, in a statement on Friday, criticized the Senate's response to the sexual harassment allegation against its leader, describing the suspension of the accuser rather than an investigation into the allegations as a failure of leadership and due process. No doubt, the Senate President is entitled to the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. However, the handling of this matter has been neither honorable nor decent. It is an affront to justice, legal principles, and to the Senate itself for the Senate President to preside over the suspension of Senator Natasha, he stated. He argued that the Senate President should have stepped aside to ensure a fair and transparent process. In such circumstances, he should have respectfully stepped aside, allowing the Deputy Senate President to oversee the process, thereby ensuring impartiality and transparency, Olajengbsi added. Warning of the wider consequences, he stated that the credibility of the Senate was now at risk due to its actions. The only honorable course of action is for the Senate President to step aside immediately so that an independent and transparent investigation can take place. Anything less is an insult to justice and a mockery of the institution elites, he said. Olajengbsi further cautioned that public trust in Nigeria's democracy was eroding. Such inaction erodes public confidence in our democracy and casts doubt on whether those in power are truly committed to the principles of justice and fairness, he warned. He also noted that the world was closely monitoring the situation and urged the Nigerian government to uphold the rule of law. The world is watching. Nigeria must demonstrate that it is a nation governed by the rule of law, where no one, no matter how highly placed, is above accountability, he stressed. Calling on the Senate to take decisive action, Olajengbsi emphasized that the institution's credibility was on the line. If the Senate President refuses to step down, then the Senate itself must rise to the occasion, take decisive action, and prove that its credibility outweighs personal loyalties, he asserted. He concluded by urging the National Assembly to act with courage and integrity. Now is the time for the National Assembly to act with courage. The dignity of the Senate, the trust of the Nigerian people, and the very moral fabric of our nation are on the line, Olajengbsi declared. Well, Olajengbsi has said his own path, but are the senators listening? Honestly, are they listening? How can the Senate President that is in the center of the storm is the same person presiding over the suspension of the accuser. Is that not against moral justice? If there is anything as moral justice, is it fair to Natasha that the same man is accusing of sexual harassment is the same person presiding over her suspension? How do you see this matter? Somebody sees it as Olajengbsi is a charge and bail lawyer. Even at that, a charge and bail lawyer can still say something that is legally correct. Somebody has said, let us leave sentiment. So because she was about to be punished for her misconduct in the Senate, then she suddenly remembered that the Senate president once harassed her sexually. Why didn't she say when it happened or before her misconduct happened? And what makes you people think she's saying the truth? Remember, the Senate has rules and regulations and also has its punishment, which the Senate president upheld. So if she has evidence of the harassment, let it be treated out of the Senate. I've been at the whole Senate harasser. Please, let's think and leave emotions. Note the question, did she go against the rules of the Senate? Yes. Does such actions require punishment? Yes. But is it not also strange that it is not only the Senate president that can apply the sanctions if she actually went against the rules of the Senate? What do you think about this? Please leave your comments. Thank you for listening.